it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I'm presenting an Arceus Mimikyu VMAX deck. I don't know if I've played Mimikyu VMAX before or not. If not, I haven't given it much attention if I've played it at all. But in this age of Medicham moving damage counters and taking knockouts, extra prizes, Mimikyu VMAX makes a lot of sense. First, I'll start with the Arceus because this gets the deck going most of the time, right? You should be familiar with it, but 280 HP, V-Star gives up 2 prizes, of course. A very, very good attack. Trinity Nova does 200 damage for 3 colorless energy, and then you can accelerate 3 basic energy cards from your deck to your V Pokemon any way you like. So very nice powering up other Arceuses or Mimikyus or Medichams with it. And of course, it's got the Starbirth ability. Super, super good. Search your deck for any 2 cards once over the course of the game during your turn. So a 4-3 Arceus V-Star line, and then a 2-2. And look, the Arceus V is very good too, both Trinity Charge and Power Edge attack. Trinity Charge just accelerates 3 energy without doing any damage. Power Edge does 130 for 3. They both have places in matchups as well. So the Mimikyu, I'll hit the V, it's a 2-2 VMAX line. You can attack with it, but you place 3 damage counters per prize card your opponent's taken. So it could be a good attack, and actually might be better than the VMAX late in the game, depending on things. But it has to have a nice ability, Dummy Doll. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may prevent all damage done to this Mimikyu V by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon until the end of your opponent's turn. So very nice there. The game, when you play it down, does ask you if you want to activate Dummy Doll, and I'm not sure when you would actually say no to that. But you do have a choice, so it always seems a bit silly that I'm being asked, but you will want to say yes to be immune to damage the following turn. And then the Mimikyu VMAX, the retreat cost is 1, so not bad there. 300 HP, so low for a VMAX, but it's here primarily for the first attack. Ominous numbers for 2 colorless energy, so can be played with a double turbo energy or with 2 psychic energies. And I think we also play jet energy as well that can go towards that. You place 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you would like. That's not great, but the next part, it gets better. I don't know if it's great still, but if you played Acerola's Premonition, which is a supporter, which really the only deck I've played it in is this deck because of this synergy. If you played Acerola's from your hand during your turn, place 13 damage counters instead. So 13 damage counters, not a bad number. So we're hitting with Arceus, spreading damage with Mimikyu VMAX, and that gives us the possibility of Yoga Looping with Medicham V, right? 2 colorless energies, place 2 damage counters. If you knock out one of your opponent's Pokemons with that attack, you take another turn. So we can potentially get a Yoga Loop, which is very nice, right? And Radiant Alakazam, maybe the deck doesn't need it. I haven't seen a lot of value in it, I will say, but just thinking I might want it for the Medicham setting up or to move things around. But because you're controlling the damage counters with Mimikyu VMAX for the most, is how these damage counters are largely getting placed, Radiant Alakazam is not as helpful in this deck as other ones. So maybe that goes. I will say I also include one Mimikyu. Safeguard ability prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's EX and V Pokemon. It's a nice wall. Most decks, as I've said in other videos, have a way to get around it. But in a deck like this where I'm playing Psychic Energy, then you can attack with it with Ghost Eye, does 2 for 2 energies. You put 7 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon, so you slow them down a little bit. You're probably not going to win with the Mimikyu wall, but you're putting some damage counters on them while you're slowing down, so it puts some pressure on your opponent, and putting pressure on your opponent is always good. And then going with the basic Bibarel Skwovet engine, 1 Skwovet, Nest Dash, right? Once during your turn, you can shuffle your hand, put it on the bottom of your deck, and draw 1 card. If you have an empty hand, you cannot use Skwovet, so just keep that in mind. And then a 2-2 Bibarel line, right? Industrious Incisors, draw till you have 5 cards in hand. So a nice, simple engine, but it is effective for sure. Okay, getting into the energies, 4 DTEs, Arceus V-Star, Mimikyu V, Medicham V, all like that. So 4 DTE, 2 jet energies to help with switching. We play 1 rope, and then the 2 jet energies, right, provides 1 colorless, which is what we need for most of our attacks, and you switch from the bench to the active. So it's good generally speaking. And then 7, just basic psychic energies. We do need that to attack for some attacks. And also we can accelerate. We need basic energies to accelerate with Arceus's V-Star attack. Okay, getting into the trainers. Interesting little mix of things, which I've worked on, and I'm pretty pleased with the list. I will say it seems to make a lot of sense, and I'm hitting the cards I need. I think often enough with the deck. 2 counter catchers, just really good. Of course, if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and with the Mimikyus, you can fall behind. And coming back is something that the deck can do. Then you gust up one of your opponent's bench to the active. You choose boss for an item if you're behind. 1 escape rope. This is the one switching card, and your opponent switches as well. And that, look, you used at the right times. That escape rope is quite useful. And you have just the escape rope and 2 jet energies for switching in the course game. Actually, that's not quite true. We also play one Professor Turo scenario, right? Put a Pokemon, one of your Pokemon in play into your hand. You discard all attached cards, so you can get your active Pokemon out of play if you need to, or whatever Pokemon you want to. So Professor Turo's scenario, I am getting value from that. Supporters, I'll just hit those quickly. 2 Judge, right? Each player shuffles their hand into their deck. You draw 4. 1 Adventurous Discovery. Haven't played that a lot, but I will have played it more in the past, not in a while. Search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon V. You reel and put them into your hand. So it can be basic Vs, V-Stars, V-Maxes. So the Mimikyu V, Mimikyu VMAX, Arceus V, V-Star, Medicham V, all can get that 3 Pokemon. Search it for 1 card, so it's a useful supporter. 1 Boss's Order. Obviously, more boss would be nice, but deck space is an issue. 1 Iono, again, very nice card. Deck space is an issue. And part of the reason we have deck space issues is because Acerola's Premonition. I will say some other lists that I've seen play 3. I want to just take it full advantage, but I'm playing 4 to maximize hitting it. It does 2 things. It draws you cards. Your opponent reveals their hand, so you learn what's in their hand, which is nice. And then you draw a card for each trainer card you find there. Sometimes that's a nice number of cards. And then, of course, it boosts the damage counters that you can place with Mimikyu VMAX. So an okay supporter, I would, it's not one probably, it's not a good enough draw supporter on its own, but paired with the Mimikyu VMAX, it's useful. Look, it could go in a control deck, too, that you want to see your opponent's hand, too. It draws you some cards and you see their hand. So maybe in a deck like that, keep it in mind there. Okay. Pokemon Search, we have 4 Nest Ball and 4 Ultra Ball, right? We have a bunch of evolutions, so we need something. Ultra Ball is the way to get that. 3 Lost City, sorry. We want to bump Path for our Arceus V-Star, and we want to get those annoying Pokemon out of play. So Lost City has been useful. Honestly, I think it's a nice stadium. 3 copies is good. You could probably drop a copy if you really wanted to, I'm guessing. We do play Technical Machine Devolution. It's useful in a deck like this where we're spreading damage counters around as we want, and a lot of decks are evolution decks that use rare candy. In particular, right, you go from a stage 2 EX down to a single prize, obviously basic, and if you put like 40, 50, 60 damage counters on it, you might knock out that evolution Pokemon once it devolves. So really nice there. Set your opponent back, even if it's a rare candy deck, and can take prizes, of course, as well. And then 1 Lost Vacuum if we need to bump a stadium or a tool, right? You lost on a card from hand, and then that stadium or tool goes in the lost zone. And 1 Super Rod, put back any combination of 3 energies and or basic energies. So that's the list. I have been enjoying it. Let's take a look at game action. I've recorded it a little differently. In the past, what I've been doing is I'm recording the audio as I play the game. I've had issues with how that works, I got to say. So when I'm doing something a little differently this time to try to be more efficient in terms of the time it takes to get a video, as well as to try to make a better experience for you. Sometimes, it takes a lot of games to get just a couple decent games playing, and my voice is wearing down and such. And honestly, if it takes 2 hours to get like a game, it's not such a fun 2 hours to announce every game as if it could be the game I'm gonna going to present. So rather than recording, I can kind of play my music and chill a little bit, still thinking about the game, of course. Actually, I should be able to pay better attention to the game because I don't have to be commentating at the same time. So I think my gameplay will improve, and it will save my voice so that when I do these introductions and such, my voice is sounding better, and I think it's more efficient on my time. So I'm going to commentate over the game, over the video as I watch it back. Let me know in the comments below how this is an experience. And obviously, it's the first time doing it, so I should get better over time. All right, hopefully things go well, both with the game and the recording. Had a few issues as of late with the recording, having sound issues in particular. Hopefully things are ironed out. Trying to adjust the volume levels, get things better. I was trying a different recording technique to try to kind of make it a little bit easier at my end, but also I think a better product for viewing. And it just did not work, and I was spending a bunch of time trying to, okay, well, this is a good start. It's an okay start. I have energy, I have the V. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry about the yawn there. All right, getting to attack with Arceus is very important. So, yes, take the mulligan. Okay. Let's see what happens. So I'm going second, which that part's not ideal. See what happens. So, okay, more Pico with free retreat in the active. Right, in a hungry hurry. Gives it free retreat if it has no energy attached. And even if you attack with it, you move the energy off. So you can even attack with it and still retreat the next turn. If you're in the process of powering it up, that's where you lose free retreat. So this is not great, I will say. Not great at all. Okay, so what do I do here? Probably going to... are they going to blow me up? I don't know. That's the big question here. So I'm going to... I'll ditch the Pal Pad. Going to get down a Bidoof. The question I have is, where's the energy go? Right? I don't play the rope. It's a good hand. It's an okay hand for next turn. I don't have the Mimikyu V down, although he becomes immune next turn, which is good anyway. He's weak to dark though, so are they going to knock me out? Are they going to rope me? Those are the questions. I'm going to attach active and pass. Obviously, DTE would be better. I could have accelerated energy that turn, but that, if my Arceus V with the energy gets knocked out, I'm in a big hole. If they play rope, I have my own rope at the moment, and I have counter catcher if they knock out something besides my Arceus. I can use counter catcher whatever they knock out. So it looks like they might be using more Pico. Okay. That I don't mind at all. Don't mind that at all. I will knock him out. They knock out the Bidoof, which is annoying, but hey, it's okay because I have my attack. I take the knockout. They get 2 energies though onto their guy on the bench, so it's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either, right? So maybe I should have used the rope. Do I want to get him in the active? I think I should have saved the rope, but I'm going to counter catcher. I'm going to judge here, see what I hit. I don't knock out the Roaring Moon, but I do okay, that's very good there. Get him down. Get the Mimikyu down, and I think I do get the Mimikyu V down, right? And what else do I want down? I'll get down a Bidoof. I might want to go with the... I'll do this. Obviously, losing the Bidoof... Look, it was a good play by them. So he's immune this turn. He's weak, which isn't great, and he gives up 3 prizes. But I think he's going to be very good for the math. I think so. We will find out. I don't know about Medicham V this game. Probably not. I need Acerola. With Acerola, I can finish off the Roaring Moon. The Roaring Moon, look, it has to use its big attack, and if it uses its Calamity Storm, no, I mean Frenzied Gouging to knock me out, and it knocked itself out if it does that, right? So that's the nice thing. If they try to retreat, I do have Boss in hand, and I will take out the Roaring Moon. So I have some options here, is what I'd say. And we will see. So they're going to attack. Which attack are they going to use? I guess they could be attaching and retreating just to get that extra energy on him, too. Attack. Okay, so they're knocking me out and themselves out. So it's a tricky situation. So now it's good. I get to see my prize cards before I advance to the active. Okay, so I'm gonna set up Mimikyu. I'm not certain about it. Actually, that's a bad play. That was a bad play, from what I can tell. Okay, so I can hard retreat if I hit the DTE off the Judge. I do. I have game. Right, hard retreat. Take the knockout with. Okay, so there we go. Have everything I need. I'm just gonna retreat and take the knockout, and I win. So, and I got the Bibarel down too, so it worked very nicely for me there. Trinity Nova for game. No need to obviously I would have accelerated too if that wasn't the end of the game. You know, just good to keep those things in mind. So Acerola. Okay, so that worked quite nicely for me. Yeah, deck did its. My opponent didn't set up great. Counter catcher was clutch. I could have roped instead. I could have controlled it differently if I had thought through which I wanted to knock out first. But the deck opponent was a little struggled a little. The cards in the deck did their job. All right, see what we can do this game here. Obviously, love to go first again. All right, win the coin toss. That is a plus. Hopefully, I get a good hand to start with too, right? Because even you really want Arceus and Energy in play turn one. I have half of that pair, but not terrible. So I'll have to think this through here. Actually, I have what I need. I have an energy, so it's okay. It's actually quite good. So I think I will. I'm going to attach. I don't really want to get roped. I don't want to have to do a switch this turn. So I think I'm just going to end turn. So I know Arceus stays in play. I have access to the V-Star with Adventure. I'm hoping I don't get my hand disrupted. Right, that's the deal. So I do play the one TM Devolution, so this is a matchup where that can come in handy. The single prize Mimikyu with the walling will come in handy too. Keep him, hold him off in case they play the stage. All right, good. So my hand doesn't get disrupted. I'm gonna get what I need this turn. I'm very happy about that. I'll blow up the Mew. That's not a big deal. So they're getting set up exactly they want, though. Good for them. But this is a matchup that's pretty good for me. Obviously, if I could have waited, I'd probably have to use the V-Star power this turn. If I can hold off on it, then all right. Two different Charizards, both 70 HP. Okay, so the Devolution, a V-Star, him, and grab him, right? So, evolve. Bench the Mimikyu. Yes, please, make me immune. I think I want to... I need a DTE. And I think I'll get Bidoof down, I'm thinking. A supporter for next turn would be nice, but... I can work without it, I think. So just get my attack, take my prizes. I'm holding off on the Mimikyu. I'm also now I have to be aware. So this is my 5th prize in play. So maybe I'm not going to bench Skwovet because I might not actually want him in play. He might be someone I don't want to play. So I'll just attach 2 energy to Mimikyu. That's all he needs. End turn. Obviously, I really would like Acerola's Premonition. I take a prize and I'll draw for turn. So I'll see this prize plus a 2nd prize. Counter catcher, no good to me now because I have the lead. I can use it if they knock me out, of course. And I might gust up something, but okay, a quick concede by my opponent. You know, I don't know. I mean, I guess things they didn't develop they wanted, right? And they got the Pokemon they wanted to play. I had taken 1 prize. It wasn't like I had the lock on, but a quick scoop there. All right, let's see what happens. Go and see if 3rd time is a charm. I am 2 for 2. Went first. Got this last game was a quick scoop by my opponent. They could have certainly kept playing. I hadn't benched the Mimikyu yet, so the Mimikyu was probably going to ruin their game, I suspect, but they didn't know that was there. I don't believe. I tipped my hand to that. So taking a mulligan. Okay, both take mulligans at least, so giving away information about my deck, but okay, that's not bad. And this guy, flip a coin if heads, okay, so I want to take him out with Mimikyu. That's what that means. Okay, I was just looking at him to understand what he did. The wheezing. I know I've played it before, but the details matter, right? It's knocked out from damage, so okay. I need to get the Mimikyu VMAX going. That's what I need this deck. I'm weak to them, so I'm a little concerned about that. But it doesn't really matter. I've got to get it going. So Iono. Don't bench this other Arceus. I don't think. Get a Mimikyu in play. Attack with Arceus. Ideally, I get the V-Star down. That would be okay. That's quite nice there. Potentially, what do I want to get rid of? Do I want to Lost City them? I think I will keep the Medicham V around. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Oh, well. Oh, well. It is too late there. So Mimikyu V, get. Did I bench Bidoof? I think I benched Bidoof this turn, right? So I will grab a Acerola plus my TTE. Get myself set up for next turn is the goal there. So Acerola, there's 3 more in deck. If I get if I use the double turbo, thank you very much. Okay, because I really just want to bang away with Mimikyu VMAX. That is really all I want to do here. I could have attached more energy to Arceus VSTAR in case I need to do more retreating of him, because I don't, you know. Look, they take the knockout of him, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Okay, so Skwovet, I will play him. I'm pretty certain. Hopefully this hand stays. Hopefully play Acerola. Attack with Mimikyu VMAX. Take, you know, if I'm lucky, I mean, at this point, if they don't get anything else in play, I just sweep the board. I mean, look, I'm weak to them, but I think it's okay. If they knock out my V, I don't remember what the Weezing's attack is, honestly. I really don't remember. It only has to do 80 to one-shot me. And that would be a bit of a disaster. I mean, I guess I could still potentially recover. You know, the Lost City, you know, getting rid... Okay, so the Zatus, which yep, is a nice way to do it. So Iron Jugulus, okay. 50 to 3. Okay, that's okay. That's quite okay. I think Yeah, no, I don't want to bench. I don't want Nest Ball anything. So nothing, right? But you know what? I'm gonna retreat here. Discard that energy there. Send you up. I'm gonna bench the Skwovet. Just get a little bit more draw, right? At this point, I don't want Medicham really. I might actually want it next turn potentially. Okay, so that's not bad. Okay, and I will place 13 damage counters. 40. You know what? I'm going to take out the engine. Why not? I take down the engine while I'm at it, and I'm going to put one here, one here. I take 2 prizes. I take out the engine. I can, by putting 1 damage counter on right place, and my opponent conceded. Look, this deck was this was a matchup that they did not want to see, right? So it was strong. You know, I was in a dominant position there. That since they weren't going to activate the coin tosses, they had very little chance. So anyway, the deck, fun to play, I will say. Won all 3 games there that I recorded. And look, it's Mimikyu is enjoyable. It's obviously placing damage counters. Rolling on Acerola is not great, but Bibarel Skwovet's a nice engine. I haven't got much use out of Medicham V, I will say, so maybe you drop that from the list if you want to make some changes to it, I would say. The Devolution's very nice. A second copy actually could be good in deck too. Anyway, I do think Adventures Discovery makes sense in this deck, and I like the Professor Turo. That's been important some. So a very solid list. It's not a top tier deck, but it's a deck that certainly can win. Don't be afraid to play it, and you will enjoy playing it. I think if you like this sort of deck where you're kind of a counter deck, moving some damage counters, and making life difficult for your opponent. Take care.